Good morning, yo. Sarah, I sent you a package yesterday. Yeah, letter writing. Whoops. I see an envelope. I think I see an envelope and pens. I immediately think letter writing. Punky out of the ether. 23 months. You're the man, Punky. Thank you so much. Woohoo, you're finally awake. Yeah, it's early for you. Good evening, Mr. Blather. Yeah, so I'm rocking and rolling on the memberships. I forgot to bring my stuff home last time, which is okay because I had to order stamps, but my stamps came in. So I'm going to try to get all these done. By the weekend. So I got a lot more to go. So yeah, you're writing a letter right now. That's awesome. Like, I save all the letters that get written to me. I should take a picture of that stack one day. Hype Train, Schmevelin, thanks for the sub. Man, Hype Train already rolling. Whoops, hang on. Let me do this update thing. Chex Quest ad. What is Chex Quest? Tessa, thanks for the sub. Thank you so much. Hey, Tessa, I actually have a question for you. What was the, Corinne? Hang on, something might blink here. Let's see. Let's hope this doesn't wreck my... Okay. There's something I wanted to install in the background, and I would like it to install. What is Chex Quest? I know Chex. I don't know Chex Quest. Tessa, my question for you is, what was the total ship time from order to arrival for your Bung Box pin? Because I may have ordered a pin, and I'm just wondering, was it like 1 month or like 2? So that's my question. Doom. Oh, check. It's a game. Oh, yeah. So that's hilarious. Hype Train, level 2 Hype Train. Man, crazy. Crazy times. You may have ordered a pin. I may have ordered a pin too, Patrick. It's all good. You're among friends here. That's pretty funny. I had no idea. So my spreadsheet, my membership spreadsheet's acting funny. Kara's matte red ink. Cool. I'd like to see that. You didn't end up getting the Fujiyama blue? I may have got it. Matte red's hard to get right, so when you find one, they're generally really, really good. I've found pretty much any matte red to be good. You got a new pen yesterday. It's matte red. What is it? I don't think I have any matte red pens. I have anodized red pens. I have plastic red pens and resin red pens. I don't have a matte red pen. Pelican IOY. Which is it? Which is the ink of the year? Why am I blanking on that? Tessa, so it took like 5 weeks, so a little over a month. Okay, that's not bad. Moonstone, that's right. That's why I didn't remember it. You'll have to tell me how the Moonstone is. Oh, you got the smaller sampler sets. Those are really good because there's like 10 different paper styles in those. A5S was banned because it's like fake for ASS. Hashtag Twitter. I wonder if there will be a Pelican noob this year. Pelican nubs. I don't know. I bet they already have plans for Pelican virtual hubs. What do you think? Mango ink's pretty tough. Like, I like it, but I want it to be a little bit more orange and a little bit more yellow. That one's in this weird middle ground that I don't really care for. So I agree with you on that. Filling 3 to 4 Leuchtturm A5s a semester. That sounds about right, Punky. You should just get the master, Punky, at this point. Get the master. Fill like 1 or 2 of those per semester. Wikipedia brand BitClicks. Oh, so I have a new so this stream, the title of this stream is Let's Have Bad Ideas. And I did that because I was listening to the Dave Chang podcast this morning, as y'all have heard me talk about before, and I've talked about this before. This is not a new concept, and everyone is familiar with this concept who's ever tried to like make things. It's like you got to have all the bad ideas before you have the good ones, right? So yeah, I thought let's have bad ideas was a good. That's what I've been working on this week at home. That's what I worked on like in Slack this weekend. I said, hey, should we have Discord? Right? And not that that's a bad idea or a good idea, but like let's talk about these things so we can have ideas about it and we can understand like what these platforms are good about. So my next bad idea, which I think is actually a good idea, this one comes courtesy of my wife, my loaner pin. It's time to reorder loaner pins again instead of another round of loaner pins. I think we're gonna make it just keep it pin. So instead of the barrel saying loaner, this one will say just keep it. And I think that's a good bad idea. So yeah, there you go. Anyone check out the limited edition Tono and Limbs inks at Shigor? So I did. It was hard to not buy any of those, but I just bought some. So otherwise I would probably have bought like a couple of the blue blacks, the bright blues. They look pretty good. I did like those. So yeah, they're very cool. And it's based on which ink fair? Morazin? Is it Morazin's ink fair? You might become a member just because of the Discord. Yeah, we're not gonna have short answer is we're not gonna have a Discord for Pen Addict Slack. Like there's an open Slack right now that we have for people that are not familiar with it. And like the consensus is, and I agree with it, is we're gonna keep Slack for now. Yes, Slack is full. Good morning, even supposing. I could always set up a members Discord, but I don't really want to do that. It's too much stuff. Oh, you started the emailing process, Mark 3rd. That's funny. Yeah, spacewalks. You have an idea, Chad? Interesting. Yeah, that's why I would never do the Discord. A separate in addition to Discord. That just does not bode well for me, right? So my spreadsheet is being a jerk this morning. It's not letting me like single tap delete these lines, which is really frustrating. The Moto Lisa gifting some subs. Where are my alerts? Why aren't my alerts working? That makes me mad. Thank you so much. You're amazing. Whoa, that's the thing I was looking for that we might rest. Twitching in the Tesla Model Y this morning. Look at you. How's the Tesla going? You need to join the Slack. Yeah, you should join the Slack. Tony will tell you that the Slack is full. It's never full. Until we get kicked out. We will get kicked out one of these years. All right, Moto Lisa, since you didn't get the cheerleader alert, I got to give you one of these. Hold your ears. I hope all my headphone listeners are now awake this morning if their caffeine didn't already do it. So that was for you, Moto Lisa. Thanks so much for being awesome. You have ideas for Slack mod stuff? Okay, that's fair. I know. Sorry for your ears. I got to do it every like once in a while. Odds that the Pen Addict Slack is one of the biggest free tier Slacks? I'd say pretty low. Right? But just because I bet there's some businesses that are not paying for it that use it, you know, for pretty good. I'll have to look at the numbers. I don't know how many. I'd say there's no way. I mean, I'll look at the raw amount of members, and then the members that actually post is probably like 10% of that. So like I'm thinking like a 2,200 type of thing. But I think the members might be higher than that. So anyway. So yeah, I mean, my whole point of like the bad ideas, it's good to have these conversations, right? It helps you kind of figure things out. It helps you learn, helps you have clarity. It helps you file away the bad ideas for later. So I'm always open to any ideas because we got to get there somehow, right? Who was that? Rich Dicks. 13 months. Thank you, buddy. 2346. Thank you, Tony. So yeah, so it's probably, you think if you had to guess on actives, which we can't really say, would you say that's between 200 and 300? I think it's like a 10% type of situation that are actively posting. Like I know there's active lurkers. That's a different, there's probably 500 active lurkers, maybe a little bit more, but probably 200 active posters, maybe 3, something like that. So closer to 5%, you think? Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. But I definitely think there's a pretty good value in lurking, right? Number one, being active is a commitment in Slack because it just is flying by your screen, right? So most people are probably picking and choosing where they're jumping into conversations. Oh, FYI, I'm doing the memberships. I've already sent one to Israel this morning. How cool is that? When you joined, do you expect it to be a lurker? Tony, when I set it up, I expected to be a lurker. I'm pretty good at that. I've tried to be in there more recently, even if I'm not talking. I keep it open on my screen a lot now. Do you count as a lurker? Probably. I'd say so. Like my posts are very limited. Oof. Trying to mail. I just tried to mail something to Chile that got sent back to me, and I got to figure out why. And it was like quick, so I'm wondering if I made a mistake. Like it was back at my house in like a week or less. So I'm wondering if I made a mistake and then it didn't even leave. So, which is possible. Oh, top. I just saw my friend come in on the wrong account. How cool is that? TJ making the mistake. TJ can't decide if he's working or playing. So, if y'all have any out of the park baseball questions, let me know. I know a guy. That's the OTOP developments count. One of the coolest games out there. There he is, that sports gamer. Charmin is working around the clock. Well, they need to work around the clock so you're logged into the right account, TJ. That's all I know. San Francisco's major customs. On my side of the country, it's Miami. How many are there? When you receive it, check back and see if it has a bright pink sticker. And you can just resend it. Oh, okay, I see. Okay, I'll check because I hadn't even looked at that. Like it was stuck in a pile. I am really not thrilled with my Google spreadsheet this morning. Oh, if I can get to it. We have someone in the chat on the list today. See if we can get there. I'm going in order of sign up here. I'm using a brush, one of these Pentel touch pens, like the sign pens. These are really fun. TJ, are you working from home? Or you go into the office? Because you can work from home. It's not you, Hobby 100. But they were also at the Raleigh Pen Show. So. And they might have incredible hair. Just, saying. And glasses. You're convinced as a lefty with an odd pen grip that brush pens will never be a thing for me. Have you seen your handwriting, Lisa? I think you could swing a brush pen. Because I've seen your handwriting. That's like Michael Sull. Oh, there she is. Astronoir. Yeah, it's B. Let's see. Oh, she's only 3 away. Yeah, I'll definitely get to that one. Yeah, it's B. Hi, B. Glad you're here this morning. That's like Michael Sull saying, "Oh, I could never use a pencil." Like, that's what Lisa's handwriting looks like. She's like, "Oh, I could never use a brush pen." Wrong. See, that's a bad idea. You can flex pen. The brush pen needs practice. You gave them away. That's funny. Oh, Evan, you're working to home through January. Woof. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, what, Square? Wow, it just got really dark in here. Square just came out after Twitter, like, all employees working from home. Like, I know a couple of Square employees. I haven't talked to them. But those big companies making those steps make it easier for the smaller companies to not go down that path necessarily, but to at least consider things that, hey, these things might be options or maybe mandatory in some cases. Is it possible to get a nib for Pelican 400 than the whole unit? Yeah, it is, but like those are things I only see at pen shows, right? Like, you could totally get that. Like, there's people at pen shows that would have, like, they'll have binders with all these nibs in them. And you could definitely find one. I just don't know how to tell you to find one online. I know. I mean, like, I can tell you, like, some of the Pelican dealers, but I like Tom Bailey deals mostly in pens. Yeah, Square is the payment company. Like, the people who sell, like, the loose nibs, I don't even know. I can't think of their names nor how you would even get in touch with them. Yeah, Punky, that makes sense. It's going to happen probably, right? We'll see. You're already expecting to work from home till October? So is that a non sequitur, TJ? I don't know what just happened in that comment. By county, you're the 6th highest by total cases. Babe Ruth's batting average was .002 behind Ted Williams. Yeah, Seattle will be another interesting test case. Your library full open to the public, or what are the restrictions going back, Sarah? Like, what are the are there guidelines? Is there like a head count thing? Is there a mask thing? So yeah, like limited crowds, no mask. Yeah. That's why that's why I like Dave Chang's show, because for those who don't know Dave Chang, he's in the restaurant business and a little bit the media business. He's got some TV shows and stuff, but he's talking about how this is affecting the restaurant industry, and like I think that's a pretty good metric for just like overall returning to businesses, seeing what the restaurant industry's doing. Whoops. So y'all didn't know you were turning in today to watch me work, basically, is what you're doing. So, welcome. Oh, you can get a list of like the Slack communities? That's interesting. K9 Play. Hold on, look at that. Yeah, if you have to like work hard to get a test, like your area is not ready to open, it seems like, right? The full list of 400 Slack communities. And this was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Yeah, so like ours would be pretty small, I think, these days. Well, maybe top 50%. I don't know. Top half of busyness. Maybe more, maybe higher than that. That's pretty funny. Waiting for a bar to have a slippy straw that slips behind the mask. I don't think that's technically possible. Simonoid. My kids are crazy. I don't catch like all the messages, and then I look up and see like all this chat, and then Simonoid in there. My kids are crazy. That's hilarious and true. As a parent of an 11-year-old and a 13-year-old, I feel you. All right, we have the B going right now. I will not share your address publicly. I wish I had a rainbow marker or a rainbow coin to send you. Maybe if I do coins again, we'll do rainbow ones. Oh, so for those you don't, I am gonna give up some of Astro Noir's OPSEC a little bit. For those you don't know, you may have seen me donate to a robotics team in the past. If you're a Panatic member, I do like a quarterly donation. Astro Noir runs is captain of a girls robotics team, and it's just fantastic. Like my son's done robotic stuff in the past, and I just think it's a really cool thing. So I was happy to donate to her team on behalf of the Panatic members last year. So that was cool. So hopefully y'all are going to be able to do some stuff in the fall. Hopefully you have hopes to be able to get back to normal. So yeah, if you recall that donation from Panatic memberships, there you go. Very cool. Yeah, the thank you card was awesome. Like everyone's signature was in a different color. It was awesome. Monkey Bananas. Thanks for following. That's weird. I really got no alert on that one. In the queue. Hi. Oh, I just noticed I have maybe some things are acting weird on my side. Let me I need to re-authenticate this one thing real quick. This is the every 30 days login to my chat that I can never get correct. I don't know my password. Twitch. Okay. Two-factor authentication. I'm getting there. Maybe that's why my alert wasn't feeding correctly. Connecting. Oh, look. I connected. See? Sorry. I didn't realize it was going to do that. I didn't think it would backlog them. But when Monkey Bananas followed and I didn't see it in my logs, but I saw the alert, I knew something was up. But I did not know. I did not know it would do that. So, hey, thanks again for all the subs and follows. Y'all are awesome. Whoops. So, yeah, it's working now. Hi. I did not expect that whatsoever. So, sorry about that. I have never seen that happen, actually. Usually because I catch it before we get online. Before we get online, I will see that because every 30 days it has to re-authenticate my token, right? Fair enough. And you just don't catch it. And then I started it up this morning and I was like, oh, I bet this thing's going to time out today. And then I didn't go check it. Like right when we get started, if I would have connected it, we would have been good. But yeah, whoops. You learn something every day. Bad ideas day, chat. It's bad ideas. You cannot time out the broadcaster. That's hilarious. All right. Brad, is that a Curidas in your shirt or are you just happy to see you? I am yes to both. It is a Curidas and I am just happy to see you. So, we're going to talk about the Curidas some on the podcast tomorrow because it's starting to have some issues. Reported by vendors are seeing rashes of issues with the feed cracking. So, let's see if I can pull this up. So, on the back side of the feed, which you'll never be able to see this in here, but just really on this black plastic part where these clamps come in, right? So let's see. I got so much crap over here. It's not going to pick it up. But you can see where the nib is clamped into the feed, right? There we go. So you see those little clamps. Underneath or through the side of where one of those clamps is located is starting to crack on a high percentage of the Curidas. So that's something we're going to talk about. This is the only Curidas I have. It's a newer model. That doesn't mean anything. It's just later to ship. So people with the older ones are starting to see it. That doesn't necessarily mean it's an old versus new thing. But yeah, it's something to be aware of because the percentage of failure seems to be high. Like we're talking like a 20 to 40% type of rate of failure. So much so that like our friend John at Lemur Inc., he has zeroed out his inventory to not sell them because too many of them, when he checked them, he had like a 50% failure rate new in the box, right? This is not after usage. This is new in the box failure rates that I'm talking about. So we're going to discuss that a little bit. I mean, I'm still liking mine. Like I'm getting used to it. It's a good pen. Like it's a good pen. It's a good deal. There's definitely some things I don't like about it. But it's going to be it's like the discussion will be it is really freaking hard to make a retractable pen. That's why no one does it. Right? So should you accept the fact that this is really difficult and there might be problems with it? Well, I don't think you should accept, getting a product that's going to break within a couple of months. But I also understand the fact that there's never going to be like an easy way to test this at scale until you actually send it out there and scale. Did you ever hear back from Platinum about 3776 pricing? I have not. That will be the lead of our podcast tomorrow, and that's going to make very, very many people unhappy with me because I have already gotten some emails. But okay. There's nothing I can do about that. So, good morning, Mike. Mike's new podcast is in the queue, chat. So yeah, we'll be talking about the pricing. The problem I have with the platinum pricing conversation is it's super hard to have nuance in that conversation. So I'm going to be on the podcast talking for 10 minutes to say what I should be able to say in like 1 minute, but I have to have another 9 minutes worth of caveats to discuss. Like, no, I don't think, you know, people are like they're trying to price gouge, or no, I don't think, you know, retailers or distributors are the problem. And like, so it's a very simple thing, you know, in the very basics of it, but the nuances that will get taken out of context are going to cost me like 10 minutes of discussion. But you just kind of have to kind of explain yourself. Mom's on strike. Do I remember that one? What was I definitely remember Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. I know, it's the internet, right? I have to prepare for the internet. I know. So, we'll see. We'll see. The Curious is going to be a thing. And, dude, they just left that old lady in her steamer trunk. Yeah. So, nuance is one of those things that that I've learned to get better with. K-Less, 11 months of subbing. Let's go. Thank you. Nuance is one of those things I like when I talk on Twitter, like I don't care anymore. Like if you don't understand what I'm saying, I'm not going to go, here, let me explain it further. I'll just stop. Like I don't care. On the podcast, I feel like I have to lay it out a little bit more. Woo, toddler breaks. Greetings, Robo Jimmer. Yeah, Evan, like in the grand scheme, it's a platinum issue, right? It's not any distributor's fault, it's not any retailer's fault. But like people will take things that I say like kind of out of context and going like, well, the retailers can sell the pen for $470, shouldn't they? I'm like, yeah, they should. If you want to buy the pen for $470, shouldn't they? Yeah, you should. Like, if you like the pen and have the money, you should buy it. Like, that's not what I'm saying, even remotely. I'm saying, like, I think Platinum should answer for it and explain it. That's it. So, that'll be my challenge tomorrow, trying to discuss it on the podcast. So, good times. Okay, so we're talking about like kids and homeschooling. How many of you have preschoolers that have Zoom classes? Like, I didn't know this was a thing because my kids are older, but I've heard like preschoolers having like a 30-minute Zoom every day. How can that even function? That's crazy. Sorry, I know that was a hard left turn. But I'll have a lot more on Platinum tomorrow. On both the Shiyun and the Curious. Like I pretty much wrote last week's podcast the afternoon after last week's. So 5-year-old has nothing. Nieces and nephews are doing preschool Zoom stuff. It's so crazy, right? All right, see you, Sarah. Daughter has 1 Zoom every week. 3 shorter than 30 minutes. It's pretty wild, yeah. I think that's pretty wild. Blaster Pastor, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. Yo, Mary Beth D, yo. Well, that's the big challenge, right? Is like, where are we at in August and September? First grader had a weekly. It's pretty wild. Like, I would think in about 3rd grade, maybe you could get them to sit for like 30 minutes and pay attention to something. But like, can you, like, my kids are old enough now they can do it on their own, right? But if you have a preschooler, that's your Zoom meeting too, right? You can't just leave them be on there. So yes, yeah, definitely. Even supposing, definitely. Like, they have to go through these things, right? But I'm trying to picture that in my head for the preschoolers. That's just crazy. But yeah, like I'm worried about the fall because we can't continue what we were doing in the spring into next year, right? Because it's not fair to all the students in our district, right? Not everyone has the same opportunities that everyone else has. So how do you make it how do you teach remotely? Like I imagine teachers are going to have teachers already have it so rough, and they're going to have a heck of a end of year this year and summertime because there's so much unknown. I just feel really bad. Yeah, teachers need the break for sure. And like you're saying, even supposing, like, it's hard to picture what August and September look like today, right? It's hard to picture that. Chunk. My kids had at least one Zoom a day from one of their classes. They'd have their regular class assignments, then they'd have like an open Zoom every day for one of those classes. Yeah, like we're not even close to knowing what's going to happen with school next year, and it's really not that far away, right? So we'll see. All right, should I talk about Platinum some more? I did. That was my fault to get in a sidetrack, but I was listening to the podcast on the way, and I was like, preschoolers are doing Zoom classes? That's my bad. All right, so we talk about Platinum some more? What do we want to talk about? We can talk about how I can't delete the lines in my Excel sheet on this iPad like I used to. Hey, look, thanks for hanging out. Please hit the follow button. That little heart. Oh, while everyone's here, while we're in the middle of this, I may not be streaming Thursday. So, the giraffe. Thank you for the follow. We may not be streaming Thursday. Speaking of school, my kids have to go clean out their lockers Thursday morning. It's their assigned time for locker clean out. So, and it's going to be like right at stream time. And then I have a podcast at 1:00, so I'm not going to be able to come stream late. So I'll know more that morning what the schedule is going to be like. But I think we're going to have to skip Thursday just because I can't get back around to here to run a late stream because I have a 1:00 podcast. So anyway, watch Twitter to see if I'm going to stream Thursday. I'm going to try to, but it doesn't look good, to be perfectly honest. Mad Mike, thanks for the follow. Yeah, my wife's working, so yeah, I can't skate on that one, Patrick. But it's like I'm just gonna have to take them. We're gonna have to force you to grade essays on Thursday. Sorry, just wake up later. Just wake up after like stream. Just pretend that you're gonna sleep through the stream and then get up after that. So sorry. Oh my God, I can't imagine what some of these kids' lockers are like with gym clothes or food, because like they basically went home on a Friday and did not come back. If we can get there early enough, and I have a 13-year-old daughter, so if we can get there early enough, I will stream. So the locker clean out should go pretty smoothly because they don't even allow parents in. Like I have to go and I have to park, and then just the kids go in the building and they're metered on how they go in there, and like I don't get to do anything except sit in the car, which is fine. So it could go pretty quickly. So we'll see. But yeah, we're gonna need to bring. We need one of those hazard containers to come back with. Patrick, the internet at school is worse than at my house. Oh my god, I can't imagine what the fridges look like. But yeah, this is not going to go well. My kids are pretty confident that they're in good shape. Like no gym clothes, no food. But there's other kids there with there's probably stuff growing out of some of these lockers. Can you imagine? Ugh. So anyway, Thursday might not happen, but I'm gonna try. If Thursday happens, I will tell you this: if Thursday happens, the kids will be here, so we'll have to find something to do. So that's the bonus. If we have Thursday stream, it will be kid stream because we'll just come straight here after locker clean out. Maybe I can sell them on that because they like to come stream. So maybe I can sell them on getting up early enough to get going. Because school's like a half an hour from here, so it's a lot of travel time. But that's something I'll start working on them today to say, hey, can we set some alarms here and go early so we can come stream? If I did have a podcast at 1, I'd just stream later. All right, I am gonna bring some of these letters home today. You have to wear masks at school. Where are you at, Ang? Oh, my son. So he's playing Fortnite. He's playing Apex, and he's playing some fight game that's a Smash knockoff, like Brawl Stars or something like that, with all of his friends. So like my son talks to like 10 of his friends every day because they're all playing games in Germany. So, but during class you're wearing masks and all throughout the school day. I wonder if we're gonna be that way when it comes back to when we're open. Yeah, I'm just catching up to some of the old comments. The kids are not forced to wear masks, but my kids will be wearing masks. We've already discussed this yesterday. And then, as Mary Beth D says, which is probably Elizabeth, only 10 kids in a hall at the time, so we could just see how it's gonna go. We could do a coloring stream. It's not a bad idea. I need to pack some coloring pencils. Brawlhalla, yes, thank you, TJ. Brawlhalla. So that's what he's playing: Fortnite, Apex, and Brawlhalla. Jet Pen's order: dip pen, Faber-Castell burnt orange, Lamy Safari mango, syringe filler. Speaking of syringe fillers, I'm getting one of those Twisby Go. Who makes those? Moonman. That looks like the Twisby Go big spring-loaded piston thing. It may never ship, right? It's coming from Rakuten. Friend of mine got mine from Rakuten. But that should be cool if I ever get that. I'm looking forward to it. Kids might go to school in shifts to limit numbers. That would be hell. That would be total nightmare scenario for every single person involved. School staff, parents, kids. That would be a nightmare. Yeah, like we're having like total parenting guilt on how much our kids are playing. And my kids are watching me on stream right now. So Mary Beth D is my daughter who's replying in there. Like all they do is like watch Netflix, YouTube, and play video games all day. It's like we're like the worst parents in the world. Mm. Yeah, Alexander, put that in the chat. Alexander sent me this smoky gray orange demonstrator Sailor 1911. I am not jumping on it. I'm just like, if I was gonna make one, we're kind of not far off from mine. I would probably flip the two colors, do orange barrel and gray finials. But I was like, hey, we're gonna have some copyright infringement here. Like, gray and orange is my jam for pens. I'm gonna have to send them a cease and desist, Alexander. So I'm definitely not buying it. It looks great though. Sailor's orange translucent is really good. It's one of my favorites. You think the gray barrel is better than the orange barrel? Yeah, their grays are really good. Like I've almost so should have bought the Lighthouse so many times. It's really nice. That's really good. All right. See ya, giraffes. You struggle with the converter on your Kaweco Sport, you should just give up and go with the syringe. Like, I wrote that in my review Monday, which I've written many times. The only thing those are good for is to syringe fill Kaweco's converters. All right, I got to open the windows here. It got really dark all of a sudden. I'm writing with this really large pen tip, and then I run into a UK address, and I don't have my spacing right. Has that ever happened to anyone that addresses envelopes? Drives me crazy. I use cartridges in my Vanishing Point, blue black, constantly. As a matter of fact, I don't know the last time I put a converter in one of my Vanishing Points. Hey, Thunder Viking. Ooh, I need more chips. Con 40 is a pain. Carts in the VP is the way to go. That's right. Concur. Yeah. A redesigned VP that takes a Con 70. It'd be the size of the Curidas. That's why the Platinum made the Curidas. Con 70 is the button filler, which I only ever syringe the Con 70. I don't sit there and pump that button in the bottle with the nib in it. That's just torturous. I syringe fill it and I syringe clean it. Yeah, that's a good point, George. I know. If I do get a pet, I will just syringe fill a cartridge. Yeah, the cartridges definitely hold more than the converters. Postcode and the house numbers. Yes, I got all that. Scanners only read that stuff. There is no other way to do the Con 70. And I love the Con 70 just for what it is when it's in place in a pen. Everything else about it is horrible, right? Darth Kurth, you are not too late. What would you like to know? I would like to open up the other side of this blind because it's getting dark in here. Yeah, so don't hesitate to syringe fill cartridges. You should just know that after, I don't know what the number is, but after a certain point, that plastic will get loose. Like it'll take a decent amount of times, 10 or 12, which you're probably not filling it up that much, but you will, taking that plastic on and off, it will start to loosen and the seal will start to loosen up a little bit. So it's just something to pay attention to. Oh no. It just hit me. I've been putting all the wrong stamps on my international letters. I gotta go back through this stack. Son of a gun. I know, I've sent several. Well, let's see what I can rescue. I'm writing a Canadian address right now and it just hit me. I know at least 2. Maybe 3. Son of a gun. See you, Tony. I'll hit you up about what you mentioned earlier. Son of a biscuits. Alright, well, I'll remember this one. Just use 3 first class stamps. So I can just add on 2 more. Good thing I bought stamps yesterday. Okay, so 3 total. Because I already have the additional ounce on there, so I won't bother taking that off. Let's see how many I did. There's 1. So only 2. So I can just add 2 more stamps to them. Right. I'll do that. Oh, it's going to look like a car race. There should be so many Hot Wheels on there. Perfect. All right, even supposing. Get those papers graded. I barely have enough room for all these stamps. Woo! Because of the way I wrote my addresses. Yeah, see, it's a car race now. Hey Luna, how are you? I hope you're having a good day. I hope you use all your dad's pens today. He likes it when you do that. All right. We'll keep the... All right, that Hot Wheels sheet is done, so we'll start a new Hot Wheels sheet. I bought, yeah, tell me anytime she's around. I'll definitely give her a shout out. I am a troublemaker. Have you not met me? I am the troublemaker. I bought Sally Ride, Stem. What was the third? Earth Day. Sally Ride, Stem, and Earth Day stamps last week. So this one was Hot Wheels and Year of the Rat on this one this week. That's a good idea, Evan. I'm just all over the place. I'm writing I'm writing some big addresses here and I'm not spacing them right. So yeah, that's cool though. So yeah, like this one's going to Israel. It'd be cool to get some Hot Wheels stamps. We just did into our Draplin Star ribbons. I don't think I ever got any of those. I don't think I have any like in the stash. More fun designs and rolls. Yeah. I should probably purchase in rolls, but yeah, they're kind of boring, right? So it's like if I need, like, I'll buy 100 stamps at a time, a lot of times, maybe more. It would be cool if I could get some cool rolls. Envelope, please. All right. Now I will remember to do my internationals correctly from now on, because I have another Canada coming up in a second here. I'm really unhappy with Google Sheets today. It is on my list. I think I'm breaking down the tip on this pen pretty quickly. This is a rough, these envelopes are rough to write on. And I'm heavy-handed on these too. Like I'm really kind of leaning into it, and it's breaking down pretty quick. It's not really made for this. I need to bring over, I just got those new sign pen colors. I should have left those over here and used those. See you, George. Thanks for hanging out. Wow, 15 to 20. Raven's Heart, thanks for the host. I appreciate you. Thanks so much. 15 to 25 letters a month is such a big number. That is impressive, Tessa. That is crazy impressive. Like, if by some miracle of miracles, if I did one letter a week, that would be an enormous number. Pilot envelope pens are fantastic. That's what I started this with, and I wore out the one that I used, and I just haven't bought another one yet. That's my favorite thing to use. I just need to buy another one because I've destroyed it. I need to get the extra fine model this time, though, because even like the fine, they write really, really wide. You wrote 16 letters in a weekend. Tessa. JD Lady, thanks for the sub. Good to see you. Look at that, Bork and Bork. That's sick. Yeah, the posting nib would be perfect, but not on this material. Like, it would, the fibers, I don't think would handle that well. And I like to have kind of a more bold address on there. If I was writing a postcard, I could use the posting nib if I got the right one. Void Wolf, good morning. The only thing I keep forgetting to do is, like, the only thing I'll write in mail is checks, which is very rare, but I actually have 2 checks I have to write right now, and it's such an uncommon thing that I keep forgetting to do it every day, no matter if I have it in my task list or written down, no matter what. Like 16 letters in a weekend. That's beast mode right there. It's the only time you get to talk to adults. That's actually kind of funny. So a posting nib, if you do a search for Pilot PO nib, PO, it's a nib. I didn't bring mine today. It's a nib where it's hooked down in the front. And the idea back in the 1900s in Japan was that postcard writing is such a tradition that they needed a hard, fine nail tip to write on these small postcards, and a lot of times bad paper stock. So this nib's called a posting nib. So just look up Pilot PO nib, and it's made to be firm and fine so people can write as many tiny words as they could on a single postcard and, write well, right? It wouldn't like be messing up the between the bad paper and the nib. It would work in conjunction. So it's basically like the precursor to like the 0.3 millimeter gel pens that we have today. Right, that's about the line width that it writes, and it's very firm, very fine. So, Ferris wheel press Kickstarter. I have not seen the new one. I will check that out today, though. Write a check for the lawn guy. Yeah. Yeah, my checkbook doesn't go anywhere with me. Like, I'm old enough to. I used to have a checkbook wallet, right? Like raise your hand if you had a wallet that had the space for the checkbook in it. Right, that was like the big hunkin' thing in my back pocket was a checkbook wallet. Would posting nib work well for a very vertical pen grip? There's a point of no return where it will not be good. So I would say probably not unless I see it, because you're changing you're getting past the point where it's hitting the page. So if you get too vertical, it's not going to work. Is the PO available only on the 912? I believe so. I don't think they put it on the 823 yet, but right now only the 912. Yeah, Tessa knows. Passbook savings account. Jeez Louise. Yeah, Rich knows. So yeah, the posting nib was created for a specific purpose. And now it just works for someone like me who writes tiny. Like it's a nice, firm, small nib, fine nib that I like. See, Evan, I keep my routing numbers in one pass on my phone now. Like if I have to go make a deposit randomly, I'll just pull up my routing numbers from my phone. But yeah, man, I used to have to shop for wallet. I remember this brown leather wallet I had that was full checkbook size and credit cards and cash. It's like the stupidest thing ever. Yeah, I keep those in the secure password thing now. So yeah, that's good. Earthfly, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. But yeah, like very few of us remember carrying those checkbook wallets. Good grief. What password managers do you use? So we got OnePass, we got LastPass. What else do y'all use? Yeah, Evan, that's the other thing, is they only are available from Pilot, and they were very hard to get. They finally started to make them, like I had to order mine from Japan, my original one. And they're just finally making them a little bit more accessible than they used to. But when I got mine like 5 years ago, I could only get it from Japan. Like I bought it from a friend who bought it from Japan and hated it, and that was the only way to get them. It's definitely not a nib for everybody. Irv Stationery, you just missed me writing envelopes, addresses on envelopes. So good old notebook for a password, Tessa. Don't lose that notebook. Notebook, Gumbo Man Pat notebook. Need to get y'all on some password safes. All right, this one's going to Canada, so I'm gonna put the stamp on first, so I don't forget when I start talking to y'all. Stamp on first for Canada. Current job, they change it so often. Yeah, that's a tough situation. Yeah, in Japan, they would have been there in 14 for sure. I would like to, at this point, I should try to find a vintage PO nib. Like Esther Brooks made some similar tiny firm nibs that fit in their old pens, right? I don't know if those were accounting or manifold or which ones those were, but they don't have the hook down, but they have the firm point. That would work better. Whoever was asking me for the vertical writing, one of the old Esterbrook, super firm, like accountant nibs, maybe. Because they're steel, so they're not as soft as well, which I like. I like that. That's why we're going to talk about my posting I got from Mark, that he modified a nib for me. We're going to talk about the differences between that and the traditional one on the podcast tomorrow, because it's a different feel. I really should start writing these addresses all the way on the left side of the envelope. A random P.O. box, Tessa? That's crazy. Oh, we need to stamp this first. I need to bring home this stamp too, so I don't have to write return addresses. All right. We can hang out for a little while today, Chad. I got so much done yesterday. It was pretty good for me. I had a highly productive day yesterday. But I was still running to get over here at 10 o'clock this morning, just trying to get everything done. And I'm normally, Tuesday afternoon is a big like podcast planning day, and I did so much of that last week. Like right after yesterday's show was like when the platinum pricing came down, and then later on the Curios thing came down. I was like, well, all that goes in the show doc. So I'm well on my way to planning tomorrow's show. We have a major backlog of Ask TPA as well. One of these days, I'll get better internet at the house. They just added another house by us. They keep building out where we're at, which is to be assumed. Like we're in a super quiet area, like out in the country, but it's like a good area, but was not built on before. But now it's starting to be found out. So like they just finished another house. They built 2 houses across the street from us in like the past 3 years. But the problem is we're at the end of the line for the internet. And so now both of those houses are using my internet. You know, they're killing my already terrible internet. So I'm hoping we get fiber in the next year. Like I'm banking on it. But I'm not holding my hopes out. They said it's coming, but I wonder if this new construction will ramp things up a bit, because they were out 2 days ago, like hooking up the new connection. So our only option out there is AT&T, and I'm just thankful to have that. But it's slow. It's rough times. Like, and with all of this, everyone working from home now, I imagine some of these places have got to really ramp up their internet action. I imagine it's a long list. So I've talked to the guys. They have, and I've said this a million times, I know already, but they've run fiber to our hub, basically, area. So now they just have to get it down the streets to wherever it needs to go. So, and we're at the end. So it's not going to be soon. We're probably a mile and a half. Yeah, mile and a half or so. Good times. At least maybe a good thing is it's all above ground. So that's got to be easier to run, right? We're all above ground power where I'm at. In the sticks, if it's not already run, like when it's made, above ground's got to be easier, right? Afterwards. What else do we need to talk about on the podcast tomorrow? What up, y'all? All right, Astro Noir, see ya. Look out for your membership. Let's say Tuesday, maybe by Friday or so. So that's good. Oh, Coco Lena, you get that good shipping. That's awesome. I have been to their office before. It's great. Very good friends of mine. How awesome I am. Tomorrow's podcast, we could do that. Your friend of the show has to be coming up soon. When is... I don't even know who I'm publishing Thursday. Wi-Fi interference? Yeah. No winning. They should just do local pickup. What is this membership? It's a Pen Addict membership benefit. So it's a poker chip I made that I send out to all the Pen Addict members as part of signing up. So it says Pen Addict member on one side. Then it says established 2007, Macon, Georgia. And it's like a heavy duty poker chip. It's dope. Possible Curidas, yes, that's second on the list. No, number one, it's gonna be a big platinum day tomorrow. Number one on the list is platinum Shiun pricing. Number two on the list is Curidas cracking. Number three on the list is, well, I'll be talking about the... I was thinking about talking about like the bung box pricing, but I think that's going to come up with the platinum pricing thing. Number three on the list. I have to think about it. How long does it take to get a chip, like in the mail? It is going to be, the first segment will be Platinum Cast. Unless Mike has something else for the first segment, that could be the second segment. Like the topic segment could be segment 2. And we could have an intro type segment. But it's all going to tie in. There's so many things tomorrow that are going to tie into Platinum. And we got to get to these Ask TPAs. We have like some month-old Ask TPAs. Like I don't want to hold those off too much longer. Are you keeping your Kona cherry pin? Yes, I bought that a couple weeks ago. So that'll be my second Kanalea pen with my Hanamabe. Oh, Tessa, it just means I just need your address. Like, I don't have a really good time frame. Like, some of these are older, some of these are newer. So, like, I have a spreadsheet that I'm just going down the addresses on. So, some of it's quick, some of it's months. Just depends. I'm going to put a reminder in the show notes. In the podcast, I have too many things. In the newsletter this weekend. Because we've had some things get updated on the membership platform to where the podcast, you can now get it easier. Lapis Lazuli flake stuff from Edison. I did not see that. If you have a link, please share it in the field. Gumbo Man Pat, thank you. I will check that out and make sure it's in the sheet. Okay, good, Evan. Yeah, it totally depends on me, right? Sometimes I'm quicker to get them out, and sometimes I'm slower. But this time I'm taking these home to work on instead of just working on here because I had so many this time. Like, I still have, on this sheet alone, I have another 40 to go, which means I've only sent out like 20 in the past 2 weeks. So I'm going to take them home to work on them, especially if I can't stream Thursday. How do you get the members podcast? So now, as of yesterday, which no one knows this yet, Patrick. So as of yesterday, you go to your member sign up, log in. You know, it's, what is it? penaddict.memberful.com or memberful.penaddict.com. I'm sorry, it's on the site. I should know that off the top of my head. And you have your login information now, right? So you log in, and that little screen, there's going to be a tab that says podcasts on it. You click that, and then it'll tell you how to do it. I set that up yesterday. My chip always comes with free beer, so yes, you can free beer me anytime you would like with your chip when you see me in person. So yeah, check that out. And this is, I literally implemented this yesterday because Memberful just updated this on their platform. So you're going to be the first one to test that out for me, Patrick. No one else knows it's there yet because I just activated it. It just became available to do yesterday. All right, let's look at this. Edison, Lapis Lazuli. Oh yeah, that's pretty. That looks like a OG Goulet material. That's really bright and sharp. I like it. That's cool. Yeah, so now, Patrick, I'm trying to get them to, I'm about to change the newsletter archiving and have that within, oh look, I still have the hype cherry in here. Choo choo cherry. Awesome, Patrick. I love it. So that's a brand new feature. I have a big project on my hands now. I'm going to I'm going to save all the newsletters to PDF and upload the PDFs to the download section of Memberful so the archive can be behind the same password too. Because I hate having all these separate archives and separate logins. And I've asked Memberful if there's some way we can like integrate that easier for me so I don't have to go through so many steps for members to have an archive, because one of the valuable things that members like is when they join news, they want the archive of the newsletter. And I provide that, but it's not automatic and it's not easy. So that's the next thing I'm working on. So this is a preview of what I'm writing about this weekend before I get into the pen stuff. It's not going to be another State of the Union because we just did that, but lots has changed in the last couple weeks as far as feature sets go in a good way. So something to discuss. So Patrick, are you on the list for the membership? I'm going to make that a permanent link in the newsletter. So yeah, I want to get as many things behind that memberful login as possible. It's just easier for everyone. Oh, you have to manually send your address. And just wait till this weekend. There'll be a link to add your address. Yeah, it's separate. It's separate, so just hang tight. You'll see a link to sign up for it this weekend. That's going to be the easiest way to do it. Because I'm going to give that a permanent home within the newsletter. So we'll do that. Or if you go back, if you got last week's newsletter, you can go back in the archive like 3 weeks or so, and the state of the union post has the link to this exact spreadsheet I'm using. Yeah, I'll have to look and see which. Field notes is separate too, and that's like not a guarantee thing. That's more of a fun thing. But yeah, that's a list you need to sign up for. Just so I have mailing lists. And that, you might not get anything ever. You might get something like a year from now. That's a real, more of a long-term type of thing. Just more of a fun side project thing. All right, I think I'm done writing. Yeah, so I'm going to do a little bit of an update this weekend. Because we keep getting a lot of new members, which is just fantastic. You can't remember if you got on the field notes list? We'll have to look. All right. Whew. I think that's enough enveloping today. What else do I want to talk about? I got a few more minutes. Thanks for hanging out. You'll be a member of Life. I'm a member of Life too. Big fan of Life. Ooh, I need to remember to take this stuff home. Take you. Take you. Take you. Do I play Apex 2? No, I haven't. I know I'd like it. I've been a little bit slower on my video games these days. Like, I still play, but like I haven't been able to commit as much time to video games. I'll play like an hour a day of something. Like, I'm just not playing that much. Good source for architect nibs. I'd say there's three choices. So Nib Grinder, Nibsmith, and Custom Nib Studio would be my three choices. Custom Nib Studio might have like default Yovo nib architect nibs in stock. Like, you can just order a steel Yovo number 6. I knew what you meant, Tessa. I just wanted to mess with you. Thank you so much. That's really nice of you to say. But yeah, I check out Gina at Custom Nib Studio. She might have like a stock steel Yovo. But if you need something to get modified, either Custom Nib Studio, Nib Grinder, or Nibsmith, I'll do a good job. Sorry. I gotta take my trash with me. But if I did play one of those BG type games, Casey, it would be Apex. That's the coolest one Tyler plays, I think, that I watch him play. I think it's pretty neat. Big fan of the Zebra Steel series. It looks like the fountain pen is crap. Plus, buying it direct isn't available right now. Still curious. You should avoid it. We have a review of that one on the blog. It got a really bad review, and I've used it, and it's a really bad pen. The standard Zebra Steel barrels, the F series, the 301, the ballpoints, the pencils, completely fine. The Fountain pen with the steel barrel is not good. Avoid, even at a discount. It's my recommendation. To style a nib. Yeah, he would totally do that. That's a very good call, Evan. It's getting to be a hard thing, and I'm a video game player, and like that's all my son does, and it's like starting to drive me crazy. Because he has his headphone in talking to his friends, so I only hear one side of the idiotic conversation instead of two sides. At least I could make sense if there was two sides of idiots that I could hear, but I'm just hitting to one. No, that's an old spreadsheet, Patrick. I created a new spreadsheet. You got to find the newer one. Oh, 224. Sorry, I was reading that wrong. Yes, 224. Thank you. No. You're right. 224. I misread that. You are 100% correct, Patrick. That's the spreadsheet you want. There's an old link in an older doc, in an older newsletter. Thank you. That is correct. Sorry. It freaked me out there for a second. I was getting my podcast numbers and refill numbers crosswired. So I'm going to make those links permanent at the bottom of the newsletter when I update it this weekend. The archive's going to take me some work, though. He just runs around. Yeah, I can't watch him play. The problem with the way our house is set up is my son's in the living room playing because like the PlayStation was our only streaming device for TV. So he's like in the living room all the time, and it's just like my wife are in there trying to read or do whatever, talk like adults do, and he's like, purple pump, knocked. Good times. Can't wait till your kid's old enough to play. Rewizzles, oh no, I'm getting ready to log off and you just came on. Unless you're saying goodbye. That could be a goodbye. It could be a hello. Oh yeah, that would be the thing. Oh, my son definitely tries to win. Him and his little buddies are we have a tournament at this time, and we're playing comp at this, and we're doing this and doing that. It's like, whoosh. Do it, Arf. Thank you. Oh yeah, my sons are try hard. Like he calls the other kids. He calls the other kids. He's playing sweaty when he's the sweaty one. All right, I think we're gonna wrap it up today, chat. Stay tuned to Twitter for Thursday. If I can talk the kids into streaming, we can maybe get in a short stream if our schedule goes well at the school locker clean out day. It's going to be interesting. I'll definitely have stories to tell from that, even though I'll be pinned into my car. We'll see what they find in their lockers after 2 months. 2 months of things hiding in their locker. So it's going to be a good day. So follow me on Twitter. If you want to know if I'm going to stream on Thursday. Totally up in the air right now, but I'll see what I can do. So it's going to be good times either way. So that's it for me today. I'll be online rest of the day if you need me, and on Twitter, on Slack. Podcast tomorrow. Friend of the show release on Thursday. And lots of good stuff after that. So y'all be awesome. Thanks for watching me address envelopes. It actually... even though it goes slower because I like to talk to y'all, I like to talk to y'all. This is like the one time I get to talk to like other people, even though I can't hear your voices, I can hear them in my head and in the chat. So I appreciate it. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.